Awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Horizen Weekly Insider number 120. Today is Monday, January the 10th of 2022. Thanks for joining us live here on Discord and YouTube. And please be aware that this call is being recorded right now and will also be available for you to check out later in our Horizen podcast in case that you miss any of the updates right now. Also, please remember to ask your questions on Menti. We have provided the link here in the chat section, and we're going to be answering the top three at the end. Let's kick it off right away, as usual, with our updates from the engineering department. I'll welcome Alberto.
Thank you, Angie, and let's see what we have for today. Okay, let's start from the circuit side this time, where the final code review of the C session withdrawal circuit has been started. And a few small changes were requested, and those have been already addressed. And so the review is ongoing, and everything is proceeding well. On the SDK side, the last week we started the final code review also for what regards the integration of the C session withdrawal circuit into the SDK. And also here, the review is going on very well, and we are targeting the next few days to finish it. And furthermore, always related to the SDK, we completed the first level of code review of the sidechain test framework update to Python 3. And also here, the final code review can now be started. One last thing regarding the Blaze SDK is that in the last few weeks, we have continued to work on the consensus mechanism that we're now finalizing. And here, we are speaking about the modifications that will happen on the consensus to adopt a consensus that will achieve a much more, speed on the Blaze version of the SDK. And in particular, we have been analyzing more in details and finalizing, a document for what regards the finalization of the the block of the epoch, and what is the procedure, the kind of BFT protocol that we are going to adopt for finalizing the final block of the epoch. So now we have a document there and a proposed solution that seems, working well. And we will have another session just to be sure that everything is fine, and then we will schedule the development activities. Okay, sorry. For going on with Zendoo, as we mentioned last week, we're working on a couple of enhancements to be included in the coming release with the next deprecation cycle. A pull request has been opened and is now going through the intermediate review process. In addition to that, we finished updating the regression tests to be compatible with Python 3 also on the Zendoo side. So this Python 3 thing was, quite impacting on many areas of the test framework. And also here, pull request has been open and is going through the intermediate review process. Okay, last but not least, on the proving system side, we started looking at ways for simulating the floating point arithmetic incentive scheme. So, for example, let's say that we have to wait and we have to also verify the secret. When we calculate the eligibility of a forger with the Prowse consensus, we need to weight the result of the VRF with the percentage of stake, and this is we can see it as a floating point arithmetic, or in any case, we have to deal with numbers that are not integers, and so. Also, for this reason and others, we are looking at how to simulate the floating point arithmetics. And this is something that is also going on, and that would be useful also for the incentive schemes and other parts of the code. And staying on the proving system side, another update, because we're continuing to work on the accumulator that replaces the inner sum check. That is, let me say, the expensive part that we can get rid of with the Darling proving system. So we have already achieved the first part of the task, which consists in the removal of the inner sum check. And now we are implementing the second part, that is the accumulator itself. So we are not performing the inner sum check for any proof, but we are, let me say, accumulating. Let's use this way. And so we are going to perform the expensive part just once. Okay, this is ongoing, and the intermediate review will start in the next few days. And as a last update, we are generalizing the small arithmetic integer gadgets, having a macro that allows to generate gadgets for integers of an arbitrary number of bits. Probably all for today. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you so much, Alberto. Let's continue with Chronic for some of the infra updates.
Hello and happy Monday, everyone. So a small update from what infrastructure will be focusing on over the coming year. So we are currently planning ahead for the whole year, and the focus will be in two areas. On the IT side, we are focused on improving the tooling and procedures and policies, and the goal in all of this is to enable our scaling, hiring, and make our processes more efficient internally. And on the DevOps side, we are planning to tackle the infrastructure as code task this year, meaning that all of our server deployments will finally move under version control. We're also focusing on giving the best support possible to all of our developers. The team is growing. More and more projects are in the pipeline, and all of those need CI/CD pipelines. On the tracking system side, we will be focusing on scaling the infrastructure and improving the code with a focus on long-term maintenance. So we will do some bug fix releases and some major changes internally in terms of moving to newer package versions, scaling MySQL databases, updating MySQL databases. But this should be largely transparent to the whole team and to the whole users. Additionally, there will be some maintenance releases of our older wallets that aren't being developed anymore but still maintained, namely Horizen and Horizen wallet, and more to come for 2022. But now it's my pleasure to introduce Yuri, who's a new hire for the infrastructure and DevOps department. He's a senior DevOps engineer, and please introduce yourself, Yuri.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yuri Sibirsky, and quick story about myself. I was born originally in Belarus, Minsk, and migrated to the United States in 2008. Currently, I'm residing at Boston, Massachusetts, and we have a lot of snow. Not sure about you guys. How is everything for you in terms of snow? But winter is all in. For the last 4.5 years, I spent working in a data analytics company that is basically utilizing AI and ConceptNet at its core, called Luminoso, and it was a great experience. I've been pretty much doing everything there, like anything IT related. So we used to be called tools, infrastructure, DevOps, SRE. So basically, pretty much doing anything that we could. And I'm really excited about joining Horizen Labs. In general, I was always interested into blockchain, but never had a really big, valid reason to learn it from inside out. And now I'm actually doing it, so it's pretty exciting. And lots of conversations, going on about blockchain becoming paradigm, number 5. And we'll be more than happy, to come on board now and take place into contributing to the, future of technologies. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you, Chronic, for the updates. And Yuri, welcome again on board. Super glad and happy to have you join us. Let's continue with Rohan for the BD and operations side.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. A lot of exciting things happening on our side on the BD at Horizen Labs. Without giving out details on new names, I know the team is super excited to know who our new partners are, but I can tell you that we have inked 3 partners within our pipeline. I'll be more than happy to tell you, but we are still working internally on the marketing material and how do we want to announce it. But these partnerships, are in various verticals, some around gaming, the others around fine art, and then others on the luxury and lifestyle brand. So as soon as some of the details on our end and their end get finalized, I'll be more than happy to socialize with everyone on this call. But till then, I'm just too tight-lipped to let it all out. But as I mentioned on our call prior to last year, we have tons of great deals coming through the pipeline, and we are super excited that a lot of name brands are approaching us and really, helps us validate our case in terms of what we are doing with the technology and the service we are providing to our partners. So that's definitely a testament to the quality of projects that are coming through and looking to work with us. So that's a quick update on the partner, and I'm very certain in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be able to announce a lot more names on the call as well. But till then, please be patient, and I appreciate all you guys' patience on this call so far. A quick plug-in would be on the hiring side. As I mentioned in December as well, our team is growing rapidly. That means we are looking to hire people. We are looking to expand our team beyond just BD and looking to create new verticals on the strategy side and also on research and design side. So we are in the process of interviewing for our blockchain strategist role, and we're also going to be adding shortly a role around token design. So game economics, token economists, those are the kind of roles we'll be looking to fill in within the broader BD umbrella. And also as we look to stand up our strategy team, we'll be looking for more strategists with tons of experience within the token, NFT, gaming, or crypto blockchain space at large. So I'll leave you all with that and really appreciate it, Angie. Thank you. On to you.
Thank you, Rohan. Let's continue with Lucy for the marketing updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. So last week, we officially announced our partnership with .rk, a blockchain gaming platform. So .rk will build their gaming metaverse similar to Axie Infinity and the Sandbox on Horizen. So they're going to explore ways to leverage Zendu and Zero Knowledge to upgrade their gaming platform for Web3 gamers, and then also allow them to store and trade in game assets like their token and NFTs on Horizen's privacy preserving network. So we are planning on an AMA with their community next week. So please stay tuned for that. We also released the 2022 roadmap last week. You can check it out on our Twitter and then also here on Discord. So what I'm most excited about are the tokenization platform and EVM capability and all the improvements that we will be doing for the Blaze SDK to make it more user-friendly for our developers. So check it out if you haven't seen the roadmap. And then also an important update about our support desk. Instead of submitting a ticket through the support desk, we are now utilizing the Help Me channel here on Discord, to troubleshoot shoot and provide support for any end user related issues. And lastly, we are hiring. We just can't hire fast enough because so many exciting things are happening on Horizen, and that also means that we need more people power to make things happen. And we've just added 2 new roles on the job board: community manager and a marketing associate. If you know someone who have strong marketing background or have experiences in building and maintaining a crypto community, we want to speak to you. So we also have 4 other roles to fill as well. So please check out our career page and also share it with other people. That's it from me. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you so much, Lucy. And next in line, we have Rosario for the product and engineering updates.
Great. Happy to hear we'll finally clone Erica and have other great community managers on board. Welcome on board, Yuri. It's great to have you and seeing the team grow. And I will be announcing 2 new members at the end of my little speech. But we saw the first draft of our roadmap going out on social media. We published a list of projects and are scoping the details and to be able to assign dates. So I see a comment on Menti on that. So that's something that's in the works. But that list of projects is everything we hope to achieve within the 2022. And the highest priority for us is showcasing Horizen as a tokenization platform. We've started, now that we have Zendu, and we're able to launch different sidechains in a very flexible, customizable way. We've started the building blocks of this project, of the tokenization platform project, and we're currently deep diving. Just to give you a little bit of an insight into how we've done this, there's a first major change and shift in a paradigm in how we go about projects. So we have a newly formed product management team and excited to have John and Victor. They will be productizing this tokenization platform to include all components from sidechain backend to web interfaces to launch a token. So it'll be a complete product focused on the front end. And just to give you an idea of what this will include, it will include a web wallet. So it'll have a Sphere web, and we will be working on deprecating eventually the Sphere desktop, but this will include all components, and we're really excited to showcase Horizen as a tokenization platform. Regarding some projects that we've had with Horizen Labs, like ZK Audit, we've completed the end of our proof of concept, and we are able to launch an auditing platform that uses ZKPs. We are planning a marketing campaign with our Celsius partner in the upcoming weeks. So you'll see more on this and a roadmap for ZK Audit's next steps. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce 2 new team members on the product side. Ben, if you can come online. Ben, if you'd like to introduce yourself, Zen Ben.
Sure. Thank you, Rosario. Yeah, so I live in the Atlanta area, and I've just recently joined in the past month here, all onboarded and ready to go. My background is mostly in the ed tech and some HR and payroll service companies. So a lot of backend development has been my forte. So service-oriented architecture, identity access management systems, onboarding, a lot of different backend systems in my time. So really excited to be a part of Horizen. Love the ecosystem, love the team, love everything we're about. And just really excited to be a part of the journey and the adventure we're on.
Thank you, Zen Ben, and for being part of this journey. And Zen is currently assigned to our tools team, and this is going to be the team that really launches Horizen best-in-class tools, making it easy for developers and other builders to build on Horizen. So welcome to our team. The next person I'd like to introduce is Andrea. Andrea, welcome to the Smart Contracts teams and to Horizen.
Thank you, Rosario. Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. My name is Andrea Stico. I'm 26 years old. I was born in Cosenza, a small city in the south of Italy. Now I'm currently located in Milan. I'm a backend and blockchain developer. I'm working in software engineering for 3 years. with experience as Java developer and Solidity developer on projects involving exchange integration, cryptocurrencies integration, and smart contract development. So in my short work experience, I always worked on projects strictly related to the blockchain world. I'm really excited about the projects I'm working on here at Horizen Labs. I think that they are really interesting and innovative. They hope to give a great contribution for the success of the current project and of the future project I will participate on. So thank you.
Well, welcome to the team, Andrea and Ben. And that's it from products. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Welcome on board. Now let's welcome Rob for the leadership updates and the Q&A session.
Thank you, Angie. Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm going to start by welcoming our new team members, Yuri, Ben, Andrea. Guys, we're really happy to have you here. Really looking forward to working with you and having you guys contribute to this community. And like Lucy said, we need a heck of a lot more people power. So we have so much going on. And our roadmap that you see publicly is quite ambitious. And there's a lot that goes into each of those items. And, it's something we're publicly committing to. We're going to get it done. And we need people. we need more people, right? So we committed to that roadmap given the resources that we currently have and with the expectation that we're going to be building out the teams that we have here. And the fact that we have teams and not just a single team is really important because we're doing many things or multiple very important things in their own right in parallel. We have to. We can't just do things sequentially. We have to be able to execute at a greater pace. And that's exactly what we're doing, exactly how we're structuring our teams, and really looking forward to having the new guys on the team and continuing to expand there. So there are so many moving parts right now. So let me just start with what's on my mind, right now. And like Rosario said, my main focus is clearly on tokenization, and in particular on building this tokenization platform. So we will be able to issue tokens in Horizen in Q1 on mainnet. This is our commitment, and we are going to be pushing really hard towards this end. Now, when I sat down and I started thinking through all of the, 20 or so components that have to go into making that a reality, because I'm talking about a platform here, not just, tokenization sidechain, not just whatever you want to call it. We're talking about a full platform, which is essentially, we are launching a new blockchain, guys. We are going to launch a new blockchain that will be specialized in issuing tokens. Ultimately, fungible and non-fungible. And we'll see if in this first cycle for the V1, we'll be able to do both. We're not sure yet. We need to have a real requirements look and freeze requirements so that our development is on track where we can get something onto testnet very quickly. But this really is, it's launching a new blockchain, which means it has to have all of the full suite of accompanying software that will make it a success. So before I even get into what those things are, let me just acknowledge the balance that we have here, where we have to balance the idea of making everything perfect with just sometimes needing to get things done ASAP. And we are in one of these scenarios where we must be able to issue tokens. As a credible crypto ecosystem, we must be able to issue tokens. Just period, right? We need to be able to issue fungible tokens. We need to be able to issue NFTs. Then we need to be able to launch certain types of applications that can do things with those items, whether or not they're swapping, whether or not they're creating liquidity pools, whether or not they're lending platforms, whatever they are. There will be a robust roadmap for all of these different things, but it starts with the foundations of being able to issue tokens. We launched Zendu on December 1st this last year, right? So we're less than 2 months post Zendu. But let's acknowledge the reality. There's a limited window of patience for everyone, for team, for community, and for me as well, personally, right? Before we just need to start seeing tangible things that launch with it, right? And make use of Zendu. We can't just put Zendu out there and call it a day and think everyone's going to be happy. Now is the time where we will be launching tangible applications with Zendu, starting with tokenization. And we have a variety of others. But before I even go into those, I'm going to say, let's just go into some of the details of what I mean by launching this tokenization platform. So it starts with a sidechain with internal capabilities for at least issuing fungible tokens. And like I said, we will do our best to also include NFTs in this first launch. That may not happen. Just to set expectations at this point, we need to have a requirements freeze, a tech freeze, so that we have a tangible target for when we can release something into testnet, because this is going to be a production grade piece of software, which means we have a whole variety of testing that we have to do around that. We need a wallet so the tokens can be retained with a GUI, a user interface, so that people can just see like something, a piece of software, so that they can see how many tokens they have, what kinds of tokens they have, so that they can send tokens, receive tokens, and so forth, right? So that wallet is undergoing development right now. It's a web wallet. We need a block explorer so the world can see and search all transactions on this particular sidechain. We need a deployment package with documentation so that after all of this work is done, we can have our integrations and BD team approaching exchanges, and we'll pre-socialize this with them so that they actually Horizen tokens can be listed on exchanges. That's really important to make this real, right? We need to be able to have some token, or at least the tokenization sidechain, the node that runs that needs to be integrated with exchanges, so that exchanges then have the option to list particular tokens that get issued on that tokenization sidechain. We need as rigorous testing as possible for this deployment. This is not a POC. This is a production grade piece of software, which means, like I said, we need to freeze requirements, and we need to get this on testnet ASAP. What does ASAP mean here? Probably February, right? If this is going to be launched in Q1, it means we need to have something on testnet probably in February. We need enough time. I mean, clearly the full battery of testing includes unit, system, integration testing, community testing, third-party testing that we're probably going to want to contract an independent third party or two or three to test the software. Maybe we want to do a HackerOne like bounty program around it, right? We need time to be able to organize and execute these types of things that need to happen, right? So if we just back the schedule into when we need to get this thing on testnet, it's really soon. We have literally weeks, if not a month maximum, to get this thing into a testnet. So we need to make sure that we know exactly how to do things like we're going to need to upgrade the software over time. We're going to have to upgrade the tokenization sidechain. So do we know how to execute a hard fork of a sidechain in production? These are the types of edge cases that we're going to need to test rigorously. What happens if a sidechain seizes? Right? Our token's lost. Clearly, that's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen. We need to have plans for all these different things so we understand the edge cases, what are the worst case scenarios of things that can go wrong, and plan for them, test them, make sure we know what to do in any potential scenario, make sure the software is robust enough to be able to handle these types of edge cases, in particular the really important ones. Are we going to do a third-party audit? Well, that takes time. When do we start it, right? So all of these things go into the consideration for what we mean when we say we're launching a piece of software. Okay, so as such, we're going to do things a bit differently because this is the first, Mauricio said this earlier on a call, maybe the first product, quote product, that we're actually launching here into production. And because literally, like there are no unknowns in this scenario, and this is, we know everything. We know how to do everything that's happening here. We know how to build wallets. We know how to build explorers. We know how to build sidechains, how to deploy them, right? So at this point, it's a matter of integrating everything and doing it together, coordinating this big dance across the entire organization to make sure that everything is coordinated and executes efficiently and on schedule, right? So we've already made a lot of progress on a lot of these different components. And as I put together this 20-point email or so I sent to the tokenization team over the weekend, I realized actually it may seem like this is a very daunting thing, and it is to some extent. It is daunting because it's complex. There are a lot of moving pieces, but actually, every one of those pieces has work that's already been done on them. The backend for the blockchain software, Paolo and his team have already done a good chunk of it. So already we can issue a single token on a sidechain. Web wallet's already well underway. Block Explorer base case is just about done. Next step is just a customizer for the sidechain. DevOps and Infra have had a ton of experience deploying sidechains, previously on testnet, and now we've had a ton of lessons learned. Now we need to make sure we can do all of this in production and keeping them from ceasing. Right, our integrations and BD team knows very well how to coordinate with partners and how to get tokens listed. Right, so we have a big leg up there and a lot of different partners across the board that we can work with. There will be a long-run strategy here for how this tokenization platform evolves. So don't expect everything to be in this V1. In fact, I think, like I said, starting this conversation, Perfect is the enemy of good here, and at this point, we just need to deliver something good. We need to be able to deliver minimum basic capabilities to this ecosystem. So expect a roadmap for the tokenization sidechain. It's not just launching something here in Q1 and calling it a day. Expect probably quarterly deliverables. This is a product. And like Rosario said, and what I meant actually when I said that things will be running a little differently this time, because it is a product, it will have product management, right? We're actually looking at this from the user's perspective. When we deliver, we will deliver with documentation, tutorials, deployment packages, right? This will be easy for partners, exchanges to integrate. This will be easy for users to actually use. So how does this fit into the overall strategy? Right? I don't want to just go only deep on this one particular thing, because this is an important pillar and a much broader strategy for our ecosystem. So what is our ecosystem, and what should you guys expect? Well, just going back to basics, Zendoo, what we launched on December 1st, enables thousands of networked blockchains. Okay, well, check. We did that. That was a huge, momentous accomplishment to be able to deliver that. But now we'll start with some of the super important sidechains that have to accompany, or the particular infrastructure or chains or capabilities that we have to have as a crypto ecosystem. And we're starting off with tokenization, like I said. We have the ability, guys. So I want to paint the broad picture of what this ecosystem will look like, say 1, 2, 3 years from now as we evolve this. We're launching a tokenization sidechain so that we can do fungible, non-fungible tokens. That Zendoo itself is agnostic to the types of blockchains that can be launched in our ecosystem. We can have private blockchains, we can have some public blockchains, we can have everything in between, right? All of them capable of leveraging the benefits of a public network. This is the big innovation here for Zendoo, right? By sending certificates from sidechains back to the main chain. We will have an Ethereum virtual machine for smart contracts, an EVM, so that we can have Ethereum compatibility and smart contract capability in our ecosystem. We're going to knock down 2 birds with 1 stone with this one. It is a big project in itself. It's not something that should be taken trivially, but Alberto likes to remind me, which I love hearing, he gives me confidence, is all of the components that need to go to the EVM are defined. They're well known, and it's a matter of integrating them. So it's not like we're inventing something new here from scratch, designing it from scratch, and then going through iterations of testing it to make sure if the development even makes sense, if it's going to work. No, we're talking about components here that are well known, understood, and need to be integrated. It's still non-trivial. It's a really big project, but it's an important pillar for this ecosystem we're building. You will expect to see customer or application-specific chains that will launch because some use cases are just better with their own blockchains. Right? That was the premise for our scaling to begin with. Was we want to create generalizable, very flexible, very powerful sidechain type of architecture. Well, part of that architecture will be application-specific or customer sidechains. Like some customers will just want their own blockchains. As an example, we will have data infrastructure chains. Like that. This is really ZK Audit is an application on top of a data infrastructure chain. And the data infrastructure that I'm talking about are snarkified versions of other chains, right? So this is just one example. We will start with a snarkified version of Bitcoin. We've done this in a POC already for ZK Audit. We need to mature that, and then I'd like to go and launch the snarkified version of Bitcoin as the Horizen sidechain. And then we'll go and we'll add a snarkified version of Ethereum, and so on and so forth. We'll probably rank order them based on the cumulative value, TVL, or the value of digital assets on these different platforms, these different L1s. And then we'll launch snarkified versions of them as Horizen sidechains. And as we go forward, we'll probably see other specific chains, like maybe an AMM chain, an automated market making chain. I'm just making that up as maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe for sure we will have a variety of different AMMs and DEXs once we get our EVM chain live. But maybe we want a blockchain dedicated infrastructure for token swaps, right? Maybe it's more efficient. Maybe we can do things that an EVM can't do, right? So that's an option. Now, as we go forward, there's 2 types of chains, or our SDK. I see 2 types of possibilities, just in the short to intermediate term. The first set of SDKs, Blaze, you guys know, Lattice, you guys know, it uses Zen for incentives via transaction fees. But we have a lot of interest from people, and I think just generalizing this further and just thinking longer down the line, not everyone wants to use Zen. But Zen is absolutely critical, obviously, for networking these chains and then connecting them to security properties of our main chain. But there's no reason why we can't abstract away the use of Zen, right? So the second type of SDK set that I see, or maybe we abstract away the use of Zen and it just acts on the back end. Developers can have their own tokens. We have a lot of businesses and developers that want their own tokens, and their own tokens can be used. It's part of, you call it consensus, call it incentivization for actors on their own chain, right? And then maybe Zen settles on the back end, really just so we can network and integrate with the main chain and the rest of the ecosystem. And all of this needs to be done in an automated fashion. Not to go too far down the weeds of the types of products you're going to see here, I'm just trying to paint the picture of the bigger ecosystem that we've laid the foundations for, and now we're filling in the pieces, right? So we know that as this ecosystem evolves, currently we have Zen that can go from main chain to side chain, back to the side chain. We will make sure that tokens now can go between side chains. That in itself will be a project. I know Alberto, the engineering team, have already been thinking about it. But just to show you guys, we've taken years to build this, and now it can seem like sometimes things go a little slow, like how many months post Zendu delivery before we can issue a token in the Horizen ecosystem. But then things go fast, right? This is nonlinear, and we're designing this now to be nonlinear in the sense that as we lay the key infrastructure, like tokenization platform, like the EVM chain, then these are systems that other people can now take and run with. People can use them for consumer products. People can launch their own NFT marketplaces, their own tokenization platform or tokenization products around our sidechain. Once we get the EVM chain up, we will then be able to have a lot of different types of, potentially thousands of different smart contracts that come from the Ethereum world and the other Ethereum compatible ecosystems that are out there. Then now we can get here. But really it's about opening things up so that people can build. And we're not just doing things sequentially on our own. We're doing many different things in parallel. But this is that weird phase, guys, as an ecosystem where we need to get these next couple critical pieces of infrastructure up there. These pillars of our ecosystem need to be launched so that it really just opens up and you're not just hearing from us as a core team, for instance, every single week. You're actually hearing about a lot of other projects doing a lot of other things in our ecosystem. So it's all coming, and it's all coming very quickly. Just we need to be methodical about it, make sure that we're carving out the right requirements, locking them in, and then deploying. And we need to get better at deploying, and we are. And we're building up the team, as you can see. Every time you guys join, we have new team members that are joining the conversation, joining the team. So a lot more is going to happen. 2022 is going to be a really big year for us. So stay tuned. And I'll stop here, guys. I know I'm a bit over. We can open up to any Q&A that we may have.
Great. Thank you so much, Rob, for the updates, as well for everybody for contributing with your questions. Let's see. Question number 1 is Horizen Labs planning to build any DeFi yield platforms in-house? Any hard dates or ranges on DeFi partnerships?
So the answer is probably yes. And the answer is we are in conversations with different DeFi application partners. Our preference literally is to lay the foundation so that other people can build here. But at the same time, I'm not a if you build it, they will come kind of guy, like Field of Dreams, right? I'm a pragmatist in the sense that I prefer that other people come and build, and we just kind of lay the foundations, the building blocks for them. But I'm well aware that Horizen Labs will have to step in and lay critical application infrastructure so that we can just really jumpstart DeFi. My big goal 2022 is for DeFi to exist in the Horizen ecosystem. And I don't think it's magically going to happen. I think we lay foundations so that other people can build. We incentivize them to build, and we'll have some big incentive programs that we'll be announcing in the near future. But also from a pragmatic perspective, and this is why we've been accumulating. One of the big reasons why we're building a Solidity smart contracts team within Horizen Labs, right? Because we are very much aware that the company will likely have to build certain applications to just get them out there right away. We don't want to wait. We don't want to hope that other people are going to come and build. We want to make sure that we have the capacity, the ability to really just deploy on our own.
Second question is, will you have a grant program?
We will, absolutely. So we're going to have a combo program. So, okay, I'll just tell you, we will have a hybrid program where there are other partners like MXC, their Pioneer programs, committing part of a $100 million bucket of funds into developing the Horizen ecosystem. There will be other programs like that. And we have a big one that we're going to be announcing that we structured, the foundation structured. And then there will also be just a straight up grant program because some things just aren't commercial in nature. Some things just need grants. other things, you can pair a grant with some VC funding, and we'll have multiple options.
Great. And the third and final question is when we will be able to make NFTs on Horizen.
Well, guys, I wish I can give you an exact date, but after everything that I just said, the one bit of expectations management that I do want to say here is I'm not sure if NFTs will also be part of the V1 of the tokenization platform. I'm not sure. The mandate is we have to get something up in Q1, which means we may have to truncate the requirements so that we can actually do it and do it well, versus try to put everything that we need into this platform. So that may come in the V2 of it, or it may be in V1. What I think we owe you guys is we need a requirements freeze, and we need to communicate what fell on the left side of that requirements freeze to you guys, so you understand exactly what's going to come in that delivery. So we'll take that action, and we'll do that and communicate that to you guys, if not next week, then the week after.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rob, for answering the questions, as well as the community for contributing with them. So that's it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here each and every week. We'll see you all next Monday for the latest Horizen updates. Have a great week. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.